Hello everyone, welcome to my video. Today is Tuesday the 18th of February 2020. My name is Dan Guitar from Thailand. In this video, I like to talk about the true Dharma for the people who have the most wisdom. If you are a real person who wants to attain this life, you have to listen to me only. Because I have attained Nirvana for 20 years. I'm ready to help everyone on this earth attain this life as well. I am ready. But are you ready? It's up to you. You know, the story I will share the following, or everything I have already said. I want you to understand about the flavors ideas or thought process. Because the idea is the heart of quenching suffering. If anyone can know their own thoughts, that means you find a way to end all suffering, not more to study than this. Please bear in mind. The topic to speak in this video is the true Dharma in Buddhism is nature is aware of nature. Why did it say that? Let me explain. You know, the correct Dharma practice in Buddhism is not about meditation, it's not about mindfulness training like this. No. The true Dharma in Buddhism is not about mindfulness training. And it's not about meditation. Can you understand me? The true Dharma in Buddhism is nature is aware of nature. Why did I say that? You know, those who are interested in Buddhism lack wisdom and misunderstood. They believe that the Buddhism can help them. The Buddhism can help them. The Buddhism can solve life problem. The Buddhism cannot solve life problem. Those who are interested in Buddhism lack wisdom and misunderstood. They believe the Buddhism can solve life problem because our true self does not really exist. Everything on this earth is soulless. It's such an ego. The Buddha taught everything on this earth is an impermanent because it's deteriorated all the time. Can you understand me? If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you have to listen to me only. Because I have attained now for 17 years. I'm ready to help everyone on this earth attain this right as well. I'm ready. But are you ready? It's up to you. You know, the true Dharma in Buddhism It doesn't mean anything. It's not mean anything. The true Dharma in Buddhism is nature is aware of nature. People who are aware of nature, it doesn't mean we are aware, but it means nature is aware of nature. Can you understand me? Nature is aware of nature is the true Dharma in Buddhism. In Buddhism, the ultimate wisdom in Buddhism, we study only the subject of the mind. We don't study about human existence because, as I told you, our true self does not really exist. Our true self does not really exist. Can you understand me? The Buddha taught people attain Nirvana in this life. Nothing more to study than this. Can you understand me? Achieving Nirvana is the end of all suffering because there's no cause to be born anymore. Can you understand me? From now on, I like to talk about the true Dharma in Buddhism is nature is aware of nature. What does it mean? Let me explain. When you listen to me, you must try to understand every story I convey and consider along as I said over and over again until it goes deep into your heart. Then you will understand it. And finally, you will have the opportunity to attain Nirvana this life. Please bear in mind. You know, nature is aware of nature. Is true Dharma in Buddhism. It's very easy to understand. Let me explain. You know. As soon as you see this, 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 within a first fraction of a second, it means nature is aware of nature. It's true Dharma in Buddhism. Can you understand me? Again, as soon as you see this, you see in the way you see within a first fraction of a second. It means to Dharma in Buddhism, or nature is aware of nature. As soon as you see this within a first fraction of a second, I say, as soon as you see this within a first fraction of a second, step one, the first step. Listen to me. The first step. As soon as you see this within a first fraction of a second, I say, as soon as you see this within a first fraction of a second, you see in the way you see, you say in the way you see within a first fraction of a second, it means nature is aware of nature. This is true Dharma in Buddhism. Can you understand me? The first step, for example, the first step, as soon as you see this within a first fraction of a second, you see in the way you see within a first fraction of a second, it means to Dharma in Buddhism, or nature is aware of nature. This is the true Dharma in Buddhism. Can you understand me? You know, step 2. The second step. As soon as you see this, within a first fraction of a second, you see in the way you see. Can you realize as your mind? Can you realize as your mind? You see in the way you see without using fictional language say to ourselves, now we see a bottle of water. No. You see in the way you see within a first fraction of a second at first step. Within a first fraction of a second. Can you understand me? You see in the way you see without use a fictional language say to ourselves, now I have seen a bottle of water. Can you understand me? You know, as soon as you see this first step, as soon as you see this first step, within a first fraction of a second, you see in the way you see. You see in the way you see. It means through Dharma in Buddhism, or nature is aware of nature. Can you understand me? And then the second step, you interpret into the various ideas or thought process. The second step, within a first fraction of a second, you interpret into the various ideas or thought process. And end at. You satisfy or dissatisfied to what you see now. The second step, as soon as you see it, the second step, within a first fraction of a second, you interpret into the various idea or thought process. And end at. You satisfy or dissatisfied. This is second step. Within a first fraction of a second, and after that, this is third step. The third step, if someone asks us, what do we see? You will use the fictional language to say, now I see a bottle of water. Now I have seen a bottle of water. The word, a bottle of water is just the fictional language. The meaning of a bottle of water is just the fictional language. It does not really exist. We were taught to believe in the meaning of a bottle of water. It means what you see now. But in reality, what you see now, it doesn't mean this word. Can you understand me? Okay. Again and again and again, please listen to me and consider along as I said over and over again until it goes deep into your heart. Then you will understand it. You know. At first step. As soon as you see this, at first step, you see in the way you see, it doesn't have the fictional language to say, what do we see? You see in the way you see. And then the second step. Within a first fraction of a second, it is end. It's an at. You satisfy or dissatisfy to what you see now. And the third step, if someone asks, what do we see? The third step, within a first fraction of a second, If someone asks us, what do we see? We will use the fictional language to say, now I see a bottle of water. Now I have seen a bottle of water. You know, the word. A bottle of water is just the fictional language. The meaning of a bottle of water does not really exist. But we were taught to believe this word, which wrote that a bottle of water is mean. Can you understand me? Okay. Go on. You know. As soon as you see it, at first step, as soon as you see this, within a fraction of a second, as soon as you see this, within a fraction of a second, you see in the way you see, it doesn't mean anything. It means nature is aware of nature. The word nature is aware of nature. It doesn't mean we are aware. What you see now, it doesn't mean human being. It doesn't mean a man. In the reality of true Dharma, we call what you see now is nature, or something happened to the mind for awareness. What you see now, what you see now, I show you. Ow, 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 ow. What you see now, it doesn't mean a dog. Oh, 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 oh. What you see now, it doesn't mean a cat. Meow, 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 meow. What you see now, you see in the way you see. It means nature is aware of nature. Meow, 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 meow. And what you see now, it doesn't mean white lion. It doesn't white lion. What you see now, it doesn't mean a lion. It doesn't mean a buffalo. What you see now, you see in the way you see. It doesn't mean a buffalo. It doesn't mean a lion. Both of these things, you see in the way you see, it means through Dharma in Buddhism. Sometimes we call nature is aware of nature. It doesn't mean a lion. It doesn't mean a buffalo. You see in the way you see. As soon as you hear this, meow, 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 you hear in the way you hear. It means nature is aware of nature. As soon as you hear this, meow, 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 meow. As soon as you hear this, meow, meow, meow. This is the first step. You hear in the way you hear. The first step. You hear meow, 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 meow. Within a fraction of a second, it means through Dharma in Buddhism, or nature is aware of nature. Can you understand me? And then, second step, you interpret into this picture. The second step, there will be an image like this in your thought. Meow, 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 meow. The second step, the first step, as soon as you hear meow, meow, sorry. The first step, as soon as you hear meow, 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 within a first fraction of a second, you hear in the way you hear, it means nature is aware of nature. Or through Dharma in Buddhism, second step, within a first fraction of a second, there will be an image like this in your thought. As soon as you hear this, meow, 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 within a first fraction of a second, you interpret into this. That means the first idea or thought process. You hear meow, 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 meow. Within a first fraction of a second, you interpret into this picture. In the fictional language, we say a cat. The word cat. It's just a fictional language. It does not really exist. But we were taught to believe. What you see now, it means a cat. In reality of true Dharma, what you see now, we call it just something happened to the mindful awareness. It doesn't mean anything. But we were taught to believe this. It means a cat. Where can I find the meaning of a cat? Both of these things you were taught to believe. This is a dog, a cat. The word dog and cat, it's just a fictional language. It does not really exist. Can you understand me? What you see now, you see in the way you see within a first fraction of a second, we call nature is aware of nature, or through Dharma in Buddhism to end suffering. You see in the way you see within a first fraction of a second, and then you interpret into a cat, interpret into this picture, and end at you satisfy or dissatisfy. As I told you, as soon as you see this, you know, at first step, within a first fraction of a second, as soon as you see this, it takes time within a fraction of a second. As soon as you see this, within a first fraction of a second, it takes time within a fraction of a second. You interpret into the word which wrote that, I love you. You think according to written language, you can read it. You, as soon as you see this, you think according to written language. If I say, I love you, I love you, I love you, it means spoken language. But what you see now, It means written language which wrote that I love you. Can you understand me? You know. The first step, within a first fraction of a second, it takes time within a first fraction of a second. After you see this, you see in the way you see, it means nature is aware of nature, or Dharma in Buddhism. Can you understand me? As soon as you see this, within a first fraction of a second, this is first step. It doesn't mean anything. It's not mean anything. Can you understand me? As soon as you see this word, this is first step. Within a first fraction of a second, you see in the way you see, it doesn't mean I love you. Can you understand me? You cannot read it. As soon as you see this, this is first step. Within a first fraction of a second, you see in the way you see, you cannot read it. Because its nature is aware of nature. This is true Dharma in Buddhism. It's not about, at first step, you see in the way you see. It's not about the various idea or thought process. Again, as soon as you see this, this is first step. Within a first fraction of a second, you see in the way you see it without the fictional, language to see. What do we see? Can you understand me? As soon as you see this, this is first step. Within a first fraction of a second, you see in the way you see without the fictional language to say, what do we see? And the second step. And the second step. At first step. As soon as you see this, you see in the way you see within a first fraction of a second without the fictional language to say, without the meaning of what you see now. You see in the way you see. But, and then the second step. And then the second step. Within a first fraction of a second, and then the second step. Within a first fraction of a second, you can read it. I love you. I love you. It means the word I love you. You can know that. What does it mean? The second step, you interpret into the meaning of I love you. The meaning of I love you is invisible. It's invisible. Can you understand me? Huh? Where can I find the meaning of I love you? The meaning of I love you is invisible. It's abstract. Can you understand me? You know, at first step, at first step, as soon as you see this, within a first fraction of a second, it's without the meaning of the fictional language to say, you see in the way you see, it doesn't have the meaning of this word. Can you understand me? The first step. Within a first fraction of a second, as soon as you see this, within a third fraction of a second is without the meaning of the language. It's without anything. You see in the way you see within a third fraction of a second. It means through Dharma in Buddhism, or nature is aware of nature. And then, at second step, you interpret into the meaning of written language, the meaning of the fictional language, which wrote that I love you. You can understand it. This word which wrote that I love you, what does it mean? This is second step. And the last step, there will be the meaning of this word, which wrote that I love you. It ends at you satisfy or dissatisfy. Oh, you know, I try to explain about this for your understanding. You know, as soon as you see this word, at first step, within a third fraction of a second, you see in the way you see, without use the meaning of the fictional language to say, what do we see? What does it mean? Can you understand me? I just have to see this. And the second step, you can read it within a third fraction of a second. And the last step, you interpret into the meaning of I hate you. What does it mean? The last step is an at you satisfy or dissatisfy. Because this word, I hate you, you dissatisfy. But this word, I love you, you satisfy. You know, the true Dharma in Buddhism is like this. The true Dharma in Buddhism is nature is aware of nature. Those who are aware of nature, it doesn't mean we are aware, but it means the nature is aware of nature. The true Dharma in Buddhism is like this, as I told you. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you have to listen to me early, because I have attained now for 17 years. I'm ready to help everyone on this earth attain this right as well. I'm ready, but are you ready? You know, the conclusion in this talk is the true Dharma in Buddhism is nature is aware of nature's. Please bear in mind,